This video isn't about making money from your workshop. It's about why your workshop doesn't have to make anything at all. You know, if you spend enough time on YouTube, you'd be forgiven for thinking every workshop has to earn its keep. Everything's about efficiency, making products to sell, buying the latest tool, or building the perfect storage system. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy all of that. But after years of spending time in my workshop, I realised my workshop serves a completely different purpose. It's somewhere I can breathe. I've been through all different types of workshop layouts. I've had French cleat walls, I've had everything at arm's reach, I've worked to Adam Savage's order of retrieval, whatever he calls it. I've spent hours trying to optimise where every screwdriver and clamp and everything else should live. Some of those ideas genuinely work, but over time I've realised something. I wasn't chasing efficiency. I was chasing the feeling of walking into the workshop and immediately wanting to stay there. Because there's a huge difference between a workshop that's organised and one that's actually peaceful. Recently, this end of the workshop had become exactly the opposite of what I wanted. My electronics bench, as I'd called it, had slowly turned into somewhere that things were abandoned rather than put away. Drawers were overflowing, the worktop was overflowing, projects never really got finished, the whole area just felt heavy, and it did stop me doing other projects. So I decided to sort it. Ironically, to make it better, I had to make it much worse first. Everything had to come out. The whole workshop looked like a disaster, and for a couple of days I honestly questioned whether I made a mistake and wasn't able to go in there to actually fully sort out the chaos because my brain just couldn't deal with it. But that's often how organising works. Sometimes you have to create chaos before you can remove it. I managed to rope my dad into helping out as well, bless his cotton socks. I had some more of the black glossy worktop stuff, which was now going to be my desktop, and wouldn't you know it, the piece that I had was pretty much the right size for the width of my garage, which was just under 2.4 I think. So it fit in there pretty well. Had to put some supports underneath it to make sure that it would hold up, but there's more to come on that as well. Many years ago, my wife bought me this Dirty Pro tool chest, and this is the bottom section from it. I've had it for years, and it spent the last 2 or 3 years sitting outside in the rain, so I'm really surprised it's held up as well as it has. I stuck this bit of MDF on the top of it and decided that it was going to be part of my new desk setup. On top of that MDF, I put 3 pieces of scrap MDF that I had kicking around, and then was able to use some of the black worktop that I'd previously attached to the wall, but pop it on top of this little unit, so now I've got a movable unit. I did end up attaching it to the wall, but it could potentially be moved out and around the workshop if I wanted it to be. When we first moved into our bungalow, I had to make a kitchen. And it was basic and it was straightforward and it wasn't posh wood, and I didn't make a video about it because it needed to be done quickly and efficiently, and we used that kitchen for the best part of a year or so and it was great. However, I had some drawers in that kitchen that have been in our utility room and kind of don't really get used, so recently we took them out when we changed up the utility room and I had them in one of my sheds. I decided to use them in the back of the workshop because I'm a huge fan of drawers. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I'm a huge fan of them. I was going to put new fronts on them with the glossy black stuff that I'm using everywhere else. I decided it was just going to make things harder for me, and I'm trying to make things easier. So the idea was grab some paint and get painting. So that's what I did. And I think they look fine. So now I'm finding proper homes for everything. The workshop slowly is starting to feel like my workshop again, and that's the important part. These drawers aren't exciting. Nobody was going to click on a video of me reutilising some drawers and painting them. But what they represent is something much more valuable. It's less noise, less visual clutter, competing for attention, and more space to think. These days I spend more time making things for the workshop than I do making furniture or boxes or any of the other normal YouTube content. Some people might see that as a waste of time. I don't. Every improvement makes this room somewhere I genuinely want to be. Sometimes I'll come out here with a project, sometimes I'll just make a little jig, sometimes I'll make something for the house, sometimes I'll just paint things. And sometimes I'll just sit here with a cup of tea and enjoy the quiet and think, what do I want to do? No pressure, just creativity or relaxation, and that's enough. Looking after your positive mental health is a phrase that we hear all the time now. My dad's generation might simply have called it looking for peace and quiet. Whatever you call it, I think having a space that's yours matters. Not because it makes you money, not because it's perfectly organised, but because for an hour or two the world becomes a little quieter. So if you're looking around your workshop wondering whether it's worth building another cabinet or finally clearing that corner that you've been ignoring, I'd say it probably is. Not because it'll make you a better woodworker, although if you're building cupboards and things to actually help be a little bit tidier, then it might do, but because it might make you enjoy being in your workshop that little bit more. I said at the start of this video, the video isn't about making money from your workshop, it's about why your workshop doesn't have to make you anything at all. And what I'll add to that is it does have to make you something. It does have to make you happy.